What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'll be previewing the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. In 2024, there is expected to be a lot of massive changes, whether it's new tracks, track changes, also a lot of driver changes, and also a new TV deal or TV deal that's going to be ending at the end of 2024. A lot of massive changes that are coming. Let's first talk about some new tracks that are going to be added for 2024. The first new track that will be added to the NASCAR Cup Series schedule is actually not a new track in NASCAR. It is Iowa Speedway. Iowa Speedway will be the first short track added, I believe, to the NASCAR Cup Series schedule since 1970, and also this track has hosted NASCAR dates before. It hosted NASCAR Xfinity Series races from 2009 up until 2019, before it was taken off the schedule in 2020. But again, they're making a return in 2024. This is also a massive market, and this track is already sold out in the first day, which is extremely impressive. I think that this could be a very, very solid event. We know that the short track package has still been a massive issue in NASCAR currently at the moment, but I think Iowa Speedway in general could be a massive win for NASCAR, and it will be added to the schedule in the Cup Series for the first time in 2024. The other new track is not a new track. It's actually a new track configuration, but it's also a massive crown jewel event returning for the first time since 2020, and it's the Brickyard 400. The Brickyard 400 happened from 1994 up until 2020, but in 2021, NASCAR, of course, began running the Indy Road Course, which they ran for 3 years. But because it is the 30-year anniversary of the Brickyard 400, they decided to bring it back. It will be on NBC, and it will also be the race before the Olympics as well, before that 2-week break does end up taking place. It's a massive win to see the Brickyard 400 back. I think it will have the biggest attendance it's had probably since 2016 or 2017, and I think probably over 100,000 people at least will show up, which won't look great on TV because that track can host 250,000 to 300,000 people in the stands, but I believe the Brickyard 400 could be a very solid race. We've seen the races at Pocono, and in general, it's really awesome and good to see the Brickyard 400 is going to be returning. Hopefully, the racing itself can be extremely good as the Brickyard 400 makes its return. Now let's talk about some tracks that are not going to be returning to the schedule in 2024. The first track that is not returning is Auto Club Speedway. Auto Club Speedway will not host a NASCAR Cup Series race only for the second time in the last 2 years, because remember, Auto Club Speedway did not host a race in 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and also you do have to remember that Auto Club Speedway is expected to get reconfigured to a short track, but it's still to be determined if Auto Club Speedway is going to get configured to a short track. We keep getting updates, and nothing's been officially announced on a timetable on when that's going to get done. It is to be determined, which is a shame because the last couple years of Auto Club Speedway, really the last decade, I should say, of racing Auto Club had generally been really amazing and really, really good. So still a lot of unknowns, but Auto Club Speedway unfortunately is gone from the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, and it's a shame. The other big track that is not returned to NASCAR Cup Series schedule in 2024 is, of course, Bristol Dirt, as Bristol Concrete will return in the spring. Obviously, Bristol Dirt had not been the most successful event in the world, but I think each race had gotten better and better, and I think the racing itself had generally been really solid and really, really good. But unfortunately, like I mentioned and said, Bristol Dirt is no longer a thing, as NASCAR has preferred bringing back the concrete date. So those are the massive track changes of tracks that are not going to be coming back in 2024. Now let's talk about the driver changes that are going to be coming for 2024. First, Josh Berry will be taking over the number 4 car for Stewart-Haas Racing in 2024, as Kevin Harvick is retiring and joining the Fox Sports booth. Josh Berry has been a very solid driver in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for Junior Motorsports, will work with Rodney Childers starting in the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season, and I think that Josh Berry could be one of the drivers to watch for who could have an outside shot at making the playoffs, though I am a little worried about Stewart-Haas Racing. Nonetheless, we'll see him in the 4 car in 2024. There's another driver change going on with Stewart-Haas Racing, as Noah Gragson will be taking over the 10 car for Stewart-Haas Racing in 2024 and taking over for Eric Almirola, who is returning to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2024 to drive a majority of the year in the number 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Noah Gragson, of course, had an up and down year in 2023, struggled on the track and off the track as well. I think Noah Gragson could be in a little bit for a rude awakening in 2024, not because of his talent, but because of the fact that Stewart-Haas Racing in general has been struggling as an organization. Nonetheless, Noah Gragson will drive the number 10 car in 2024. Let's transition over to Spire Motorsports, shall we? So there's going to be a couple driver changes happening Spire Motorsports. First, Zane Smith is going to be driving the number 71 car for Spire Motorsports in 2024. And this is, of course, going to be a partnership with Trackhouse Racing. The original plan was for Zane Smith to potentially maybe run the Xfinity Series, but after the partnership with Spire was announced, they could not refuse the deal. And Zane Smith, like I mentioned, will be driving for Spire Motorsports, working with Steven Durando, of course, have been an engineer for Kevin Harvick in the NASCAR Cup Series. I think Zane Smith could be someone to watch out for in 2024. He could be a surprise candidate to maybe make the playoffs, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. The other big driver change going on with Spire is Carson Ospar, who will be taking over the number 77 car for Spire Motorsports in 2024 from Ty Dillon. Carson Ospar did have a really strong year in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, but also made a lot of really big mistakes, including taking out Corey Heim at Phoenix Raceway in the championship event. I have a bad feeling that Carson Ospar is going to be in for a rude awakening in the 2024 season. Nonetheless, so he will be joining that team in 2024 and looks to have a good year and wipe a clean slate and show what he can be capable of. I think Carson's a good driver. We'll see how he ends up doing now in 2024. Another driver that's moving organizations in 2024 is Justin Haley. Justin Haley, who had been driving the number 31 for Kaulig Racing for the last 2 seasons, moving away to drive the number 51 car for Rickwell Racing starting in 2024, as Rickwell Racing will be tightening their alliance with RFK this upcoming season. Justin Haley is a very talented driver, but I do worry about Justin Haley going into the 2024 season. Now, I do expect that 51 car will have its best season that we've seen from that organization, but I think with all the organizations making massive improvements going into 2024, that does give me some great concern for this team in 2024. Nonetheless, we'll see Justin Haley join the Rickwell Racing organization. We'll see how he performs in 2024. A driver, though, moving up from the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2024 is John Hunter Nemechek. John Hunter Nemechek moves up from the number 20 car from Joe Gibbs Racing in Xfinity up to running full-time in the Cup Series in 2024 to drive the number 42 car for Legacy Motor Club. After winning 7 or 8 NASCAR Xfinity Series races, John Hunter will be in for a little bit of a rude awakening. He'll be working with Ben Bayshore in 2024. Now, John Hunter Nemechek, I think, is a very talented driver, but like I said, the 42 team has not really been an amazing organization in the past. They showed some signs of really good runs with Carson Ospar throughout 2023 near the end of the year, but I do believe that there could be some struggles coming away, but I think John Hunter for sure will have a better year in 2024 with this team than he had in his first year in Cup with Front Row Motorsports. I think he's a much more mature driver, but I think there could also be some big struggles coming away for John Hunter in 2024. Another driver moving up from the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2024 is Daniel Hemrick. But Daniel Hemrick is staying with the same organization that he ran with in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, as of course, he'll be driving the number 31 car for Kaulig Racing in the Cup Series in 2024, replacing Justin Haley. Daniel Hemrick's been hit or miss in the Xfinity Series, did have one win that won the championship in 2021, but really since that point, Daniel Hemrick has struggled quite a bit and been a little bit hit or miss, struggled to make the postseason multiple years, and unfortunately got eliminated in the round of 12 in this past season's postseason. I think Daniel Hemrick could have a little bit of an up and down year going into 2024. I'm a little worried about Kaulig Racing in general being one of those organizations that struggles quite a bit, but you'll for sure see him in the Cup Series with Circle sponsorship in 2024. The last massive driver change I want to talk about is Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane Van Gisbergen has signed a development contract with Trackhouse Racing and is going to run full-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, of course, with Kaulig Racing in the number 97 car in partnership, of course, with Trackhouse Racing. On top of that as well, SVG is going to run 7 NASCAR Cup Series races. Now, it's been kind of unclear if he's going to drive us what call racing in the number 16 car, or if those races are going to come with Trackhouse Racing and that number 91 Project 91 entry. Shane Van Gisbergen, of course, learning to drive as well as he can on ovals because he wants to go full-time NASCAR Cup Series racing potentially in 2025. I think Shane Van Gisbergen definitely has those capabilities for sure, though, and we'll see how he ends up doing. But, of course, he'll be driving full-time in the Cup Series, or at least in Xfinity, and looking to drive part-time in Cup in 2024. So those are the big driver changes. Now let's talk about the TV deal, because this is the last year of the current TV deal before we go to the new TV deal in 2025. NBC and Fox Sports will continue televising all the races in 2024, and I think that we could see interesting year. Maybe they try some new things with Fox, so Fox will struggle with their coverage, and NBC, of course, will probably try some new things at the end. The other big thing about though, of course, is some other stuff going on there. Hopefully the broadcast can be really, really good and show some improvement. I don't know how many races. I think there's going to be like a bunch of races on USA, of course, but a lot of races also will be on NBC in 2024. In general, there's a lot of changes coming to NASCAR in 2024, and I cannot wait for the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season, as of course it is the final year of the current deal with the media rights situation and the charter negotiations. Those charter negotiations, of course, are still not done at this current moment, but there's still expected to be some pretty big changes coming to NASCAR before the end of 2024. So, that is going to be it for today's NASCAR Cup Series preview for 2024. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as for on Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's video. What are your thoughts about 2024 NASCAR Cup Series preview? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, there could be a NASCAR news video dropping on the channel. If not, there might be a silly season update or something along those lines. There may also be a winner's prediction for the end of the week, and there's also going to be a silly season update dropping before the end of the week as well. Got a lot of great content dropping on the channel that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.